No, that's exactly what we're going to talk about because, like you just mentioned, there's madness in March, and then in April, there's April Fools for us too. That's
Nah,
what there is. That's
March
what there is.
Madness, March Madness, April Sadness. There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
that was perfect. That was
There you
perfect.
go.
And
Oh,
the reason we bring that up is because we wanted to vet a little bit about our two NBA teams, the Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic, and how they have been very mediocre and sad and disappointing this season.
disappointed, man.
And I feel like we're at a point that we are used to this. So, want to start off with BC first and let you
Yep.
guys know how he's feeling about the Orlando Magic, where they should have been a top three team in the Eastern Conference, and now they're not even top 10.
We should have been top two because at the beginning of this year,
Eh,
there was
eh.
nobody. There. The only team I was worried about at the beginning of the season on paper was the Knicks. That
Not
was it.
Detroit. Not Detroit at all.
No, I mean,
Or Cleveland.
I'll be honest. I thought they would be fine, but I did not see them being that good. That's let me say that I was not worried about them in a playoff game as much as a team like New York. I thought for sure this would kind of reignite that old like Knicks Magic rivalry from way back in the day. But I thought for sure they'd get 50 plus wins. I thought for sure their defense was still going to be like top five in the league. I thought their offense was going to be taking a step and being like a top five, maybe even a top 10, because supposedly for the last 3, 4 years, it's been players have been injured and just keeping that continuity. And again,
Well, that
players
those
have
are
been,
facts. Those are facts, though. They have
yes,
been in.
yes. But the thing is that people have almost been using it now as a crutch to be like, okay, well, we're just going to continue to excuse mediocre play when our not everybody is together. They have enough star power on this team, even when guys like Franz Wagner aren't playing, even when Jalen Suggs isn't playing. It's not like the Miami Heat big three, for example, where you had like Wade, Bosch, and Braun, and then like kind of after that, like that first year where there was like nobody on the bench. Like they have plenty of guys to go through. You've got outside, or all right, let's name the core four: Suggs, Bain, Paolo, and Franz. After those guys, starting with your guards and your wings, you've got Anthony Black. You've got Tristan da Silva. You
Got
just
Angel
got
Reese. Oh no, sorry.
this window harder, but yeah, Angel Reese's man. There you go. But you got Dell. You've got Goga Batadze. You got Mo Wagner now just coming back. You have depth on this roster. Ji. The problem is that again, a lot of these guys are getting hurt, which is that on you guys for holding on to them for too long? Maybe you should have parted ways with the Jonathan Isaac. Maybe you should have parted ways with the Wendell Carter because, like, looking at,
I said
like,
both of those, by the way. Just want to say.
yeah, no, I agree. I think you could have packaged those guys and gotten something for them. But this year you've got Wendell Carter Jr. 11, 12 points. Okay, that's better than what he's done that's better than what he did last year. As your starting center, 7.5 rebounds. I get it on offense. He's called to space the floor a little bit. And I get on defense. He switches a lot. That's the thing with the Magic. They like to switch. I get that. But as your center, you're still telling me like he can't give you double digit rebounds? And then less than the steal and less than the block for me. I'm sorry. I get the switchability thing. That's still unacceptable for your center. To not at least get a block or a block and a half a game. And he's supposed to be athletic. So and other people that they have on the roster, like Anthony. Honestly, if I was the Magic, I would love to see a lineup that has like Suggs, Bain, Black, Franz, and Paolo. Put Paolo at the five. I know he's not the best defender and everything, but he gives you a lot more on offense. So there's a lot of problems with this team, and I think Paolo's probably a prime example of it. I feel like the team when he was hurt, the team kind of moved a little bit better with guys like with Franz, with Bain, with Suggs, because they kind of just let the offense flow around each other. They didn't try to do too much. If Franz wasn't having a great night, he wouldn't try to take 15, 16 shots. He would just defer to Bain. Same thing with Suggs. But with Powell coming back, he tends to command the ball a lot, put the ball on the floor a lot in his hands. And I don't know. Like I feel like it's almost the case of too many mouths to feed on the offense, and there's not as much guys leaning into their strengths instead of guys wanting to lean into the game they want to play. And it's a little frustrating.
For me, I think that Paulo should play what Cam Boozer is doing now with Duke. I think he should work on the post,
Yep.
work it. If it's not there, they double team you, kick it out. Get your assist
Yeah.
up. Get your
Yep.
assist up. If they're not double teaming you, all right, cool. Post fade away, try to drain it, try to take him to the basket, get a layup and a foul, a dunk and a foul. Like try to
Yep.
create around the rim for sure. But him getting the ball at the top of the key and trying to either create or try to drive to the basket or try to drive and pull up midi, like no, man, that's not the
It's not
type of
mellow.
player. That's not the type of player that you are. The type of
Yeah.
player that you are is a dude that works on the post and does his work from there. You did that at Duke. You did that in the beginning with the Magic, and now you're changing it up because you
Yep.
feel like you need to, but you don't because you got Bane on the outside, Suggs on the outside. Yeah, he's not that much of a consistent shooter, but he can shoot it.
He's better
Franz
than a lot of examples.
Wagner, he can shoot as well. But if he doesn't, you kick it out to him and he will create because he
Yep.
can create for himself.
Yep. Even
Just
Anthony
work on the
Black's
post.
shooting has gotten better this year.
He
And
needs to work on the block, dude. Just stay on
yeah,
the block.
I agree. And he at 6'10 and 250, he is such a size mismatch for so many forwards in the league. Like you're telling me that he can't back a guy down and just do simple post fade or post
Yes,
hooks?
bro, 100%. He'll probably
Yeah.
be the best dude in the NBA to do that.
Well,
Honestly.
and in addition to that, I wish the team would run a lot more pick and rolls than they do. You have four guys that are super physical on both sides of the ball. You're telling me that you can't have Bane and Powell running a pick and roll game and getting easy buckets like that? You're telling me you can't do that same thing for like Suggs and Franz? Like those two-man games that those two sets of guys could run interchangeably is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you've also got Dell, who you can also bring in as like a tertiary pick and roll guy or pick and pop. But they don't run a lot of motions. They don't run a lot
Nah,
of
nah.
plays. They don't
He
run
needs
a
to
lot of
sit on the
sets.
corner three, bro. That's all he does on offense. He needs to sit on the corner three. On defense, he needs to grab rebounds. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah. But the thing is that the offense doesn't have a lot of rhythm. It doesn't have a lot of flow. It doesn't have a lot of motion.
Right.
It's just very simplistic. It's get the ball to your star players, let them do what they want, and then just get back on defense.
Yeah.
And this year, it's not even like looking at their stuff right now. Off points per game, they're about middle of the pack, which is fine. Points against, they're outside the top 10, which is a step back. Then you look at offensive and defensive rating, they're even worse. So they're mid tier right now, and they were supposed to take that next step. And I'm starting to think, how much of this are you putting on the players, which they do bear some of it, but also how much of it is the coach for not
That's what I think it
utilizing his
is. I
players.
think it's the coach because
Yeah.
you go from your top selected player in the NBA draft what 4 or 5 years ago, whatever when Pablo was drafted, for
Yeah.
him being a back to the basket player and working on the block to him not being at the top of the key trying to create for himself and do all these mix and match movements like he's a guard.
Yeah.
That has to be on the coach. Because if I was the coach, I'd be like, yo, Pablo, get your ass on the block.
Yep.
That's it.
I agree. And the thing is, like Coach Mo was brought in to raise the defensive ability of this team. And to his credit, he did for a few years now. The problem is that he's never been a great offensive coach. And if you're going to rely on your players to run the offense, that's not how you want to do it. I think that pretty much with the situation right now, and I honestly do think that after this season, unless the Magic somehow win the finals this year or somehow make a deeper run in the playoffs than any of us expected, I think Coach Mo's done. I really do. He
Should
reminds me of
be. In my
he,
opinion, he should be, man.
he reminds me a lot of a Mark Jackson kind of coach, a guy that he's going to raise the floor for your team, but he's not that guy to take you over
This
the
is the
top.
ceiling. This is the ceiling.
Yep.
Where you can get to here, this
Yep.
is his ceiling.
He's a floor raiser, not a ceiling raiser. So congratulations on being a playing team. But if you want to take that next step and be an Eastern Conference contender, you need to fire him and you need to bring in somebody that's serious and that's going to get Paolo and these guys to buy into a system, to believe in that system, and to not try to act like they're the one man show. They need to have a system around them, not just give the ball to your star player and let them cook.